After the age of 60, many people focus almost entirely on what they do during the day to control blood pressure. They pay attention to meals, medications, physical activity, and stress levels. These things matter, and they deserve attention. But there is another part of the day that quietly shapes blood pressure just as much, and often more than people realize. The evening. Nighttime habits do not simply prepare the body for sleep. They prepare the cardiovascular system for the next morning. They influence how deeply the body rests, how the nervous system resets, and how blood pressure behaves while you sleep. For many seniors, blood pressure does not rise or fall randomly. It follows patterns that begin long before the morning alarm or the first step out of bed. These patterns often start in the hours before sleep. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to signals of safety and stress. The nervous system no longer shifts as easily between alertness and rest. Blood vessels respond more slowly. Hormones that influence blood pressure linger longer than they used to. This means that what happens in the evening does not simply end at bedtime. It carries forward into the night and into the next day. Many people assume that blood pressure lowers automatically during sleep. While this is often true, it is not guaranteed. For some seniors, blood pressure remains elevated at night or drops irregularly. This pattern, sometimes called non-dipping, places extra strain on the heart and blood vessels. What makes this concerning is that nighttime blood pressure behavior often goes unnoticed. Most people do not measure blood pressure while sleeping. There are no obvious symptoms, and yet, nighttime patterns are strongly linked to long-term cardiovascular risk. The good news is that nighttime blood pressure is not beyond influence. In fact, the hours before sleep are one of the most powerful windows for gentle, natural blood pressure regulation, especially after 60. Night habits do not need to be extreme to be effective. They do not require intense exercise, strict rules, or rigid schedules. They work because they help the body shift into a state of calm, where repair and regulation can occur. The goal of this video is not to add pressure or complexity to your evenings. It is to show how small, intentional changes can lower blood pressure quietly, without force, while you sleep. Many seniors struggle with evenings without realizing it. They feel tired but wired. Their mind remains active even when the body is exhausted. They fall asleep but wake frequently, or they sleep through the night but wake up feeling unrested. These experiences are often connected to how the nervous system is being stimulated in the evening. After 60, the nervous system becomes more reactive. Stimuli that once felt harmless, late meals, bright screens, emotional conversations, or rushed routines can keep the body in a state of alertness long after bedtime. When the nervous system does not fully settle, blood pressure does not fully relax. This is why nighttime habits matter so much. Lowering blood pressure at night is not about forcing numbers down. It is about creating conditions where the body feels safe enough to let go of tension. When the body feels safe, blood vessels relax, heart rate slows, hormonal balance improves, blood pressure lowers naturally. This process does not happen instantly. It unfolds gradually over hours of calm. The evening is the bridge between the stress of the day and the restoration of sleep. If that bridge is chaotic or overstimulating, the body carries stress into the night. If the bridge is calm and predictable, the body releases stress. Many seniors are surprised to learn that improving nighttime habits often improves morning blood pressure more effectively than changing morning routines alone. This is because the body does much of its regulation while resting. Sleep is not passive. It is active repair. During deep sleep, blood vessels recover from daily strain. The nervous system resets its sensitivity. Hormones that influence blood pressure rebalance. When sleep is disrupted or shallow, this repair is incomplete. Night habits influence how deep and restorative sleep becomes. This video is designed to guide you through the most effective nighttime habits for lowering blood pressure after 60. These habits are not trends. They are based on how the body naturally prepares for rest. You will learn how evening calm affects blood pressure. You will understand how what you eat and drink at night influences overnight circulation. You will see how light, screens, and stimulation affect the nervous system. You will learn simple breathing and relaxation practices that support blood pressure regulation. And you will understand why sleep timing and consistency matter more than duration alone. This is not about perfection. You do not need to overhaul your entire evening. You do not need to follow strict rules. The goal is to identify one or two habits that quietly interfere with rest and replace them with habits that support calm. Small changes in the evening can produce meaningful changes over time. Many seniors who adopt calmer night routines report improved sleep, steadier morning blood pressure, and a greater sense of control over their health. These improvements often come without changing medication or adding new treatments. It is also important to say what this video is not. This video is not medical advice. It does not replace professional care. It does not suggest stopping or changing medication. It does not promise immediate results. What it offers is understanding. Understanding how the body behaves at night empowers you to work with it instead of against it. It reduces fear and replaces it with awareness. Awareness allows for better decisions. If you have ever wondered why your blood pressure feels unpredictable, or why mornings feel harder than they should, the answer may lie in the night before. What you do in the hours leading up to sleep shapes how your body rests, recovers, and regulates itself. The safest way to lower blood pressure after 60 is not to push harder during the day. It is to allow the body to truly rest at night. As you watch this video, listen for ideas that resonate with you. You do not need to remember everything. You do not need to change everything at once. Choose one habit that feels manageable. Let it become familiar. Then consider another. The goal is not control. The goal is cooperation with the body's natural rhythms. In the next part of this video, we will begin with the most important foundation of nighttime blood pressure regulation, creating a sense of calm in the evening, and why evening calm matters more after 60 than it ever did before. For many people over the age of 60, the evening feels like the end of responsibility. The work of the day is finished. Tasks are mostly complete. There is a sense that it is finally time to rest. And yet, for the body, the evening is not simply a time to stop doing things. It is a time to transition. This transition is critical for blood pressure. After 60, the body does not automatically switch from alertness to rest. The nervous system holds on to stimulation longer. Stress hormones linger. Blood vessels remain slightly tense even when the mind believes it is time to relax. This is why evening calm matters more now than it did earlier in life. Calm is not just a feeling. It is a physiological state. When the body is calm, the nervous system shifts away from alert mode. Heart rate slows. Blood vessels relax. Blood pressure begins to settle. When calm does not arrive in the evening, blood pressure does not fully lower at night. Many seniors assume that blood pressure problems come from physical causes alone. Diet, exercise, medication, genetics. These factors matter. But the nervous system plays an equally powerful role, especially after 60. The nervous system is the bridge between experience and physiology. It interprets what is happening around you and decides whether the body should remain alert or prepare for rest. In the evening, the nervous system needs clear signals that the day is over. For many people, those signals are missing. Evenings are often filled with subtle stimulation. Television news, bright lights, screens, conversations that carry emotional weight, thinking about tomorrow, revisiting the stresses of the day. None of these feel extreme, but together they keep the nervous system engaged. After 60, this engagement has a stronger effect on blood pressure. When the nervous system remains active, blood vessels stay slightly constricted. Heart rate remains elevated. Blood pressure does not dip as deeply during sleep. Over time, this pattern increases cardiovascular strain. Evening calm works because it tells the nervous system that vigilance is no longer required. This is not about eliminating all activity or enjoyment. It is about reducing unnecessary stimulation and creating predictability. Predictability is calming to the nervous system. When evenings follow a familiar, gentle pattern, the body learns to anticipate rest. Hormones begin to shift earlier. Blood pressure starts to lower before sleep even begins. This process cannot be rushed. Calm does not arrive instantly. It builds gradually. Many seniors expect to feel calm simply because they sit down or stop working. But the nervous system may still be in a state of alertness from the day. Without intentional cues, it remains there. This is why intentional calm is more effective than passive rest. Intentional calm means choosing activities that actively reduce stimulation rather than simply filling time. It means creating a buffer between the demands of the day and the vulnerability of sleep. One of the most powerful aspects of evening calm is its effect on nighttime blood pressure patterns. In a calm state, blood pressure naturally lowers during sleep. This nighttime dip gives blood vessels time to recover from daily strain. It reduces the workload on the heart. It supports long-term cardiovascular health. When calm is absent, this dip may be shallow or inconsistent. Blood pressure remains higher than it should be for longer periods. Over years, this increases risk even if daytime readings appear acceptable. Evening calm also affects sleep quality. Deep, restorative sleep requires the nervous system to feel safe. If the body remains alert, sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. Frequent awakenings, vivid dreams, or early morning waking are common signs that the nervous system has not fully settled. These sleep disruptions further interfere with blood pressure regulation. Many seniors notice a pattern where poor sleep leads to higher blood pressure the next day. This is not coincidence. It is the result of incomplete nighttime recovery. Evening calm supports both blood pressure and sleep by addressing the same underlying mechanism: nervous system regulation. It is important to understand that calm does not mean silence or inactivity. It means low intensity, low demand engagement. Activities that support evening calm often feel simple: reading, gentle music, quiet conversation, familiar routines, dim lighting. These signals tell the nervous system that the environment is safe and predictable. Activities that disrupt calm are often stimulating rather than stressful. Fast-paced shows, bright screens, emotional content, multitasking. These keep the nervous system engaged even when the body is tired. After 60, the body has less tolerance for prolonged stimulation in the evening. What once felt relaxing may now be activating without you realizing it. This does not mean you must give up enjoyable activities. It means timing matters. The closer an activity is to bedtime, the more influence it has on nighttime blood pressure and sleep quality. Creating a period of calm in the final hours of the day allows the body to transition smoothly. Many seniors find that even a short period of intentional calm makes a difference. 30 minutes of low stimulation can begin to shift the nervous system. An hour is even more effective. The exact duration is less important than consistency. Consistency trains the nervous system. When calm occurs at roughly the same time each evening, the body begins to anticipate it. Blood pressure begins to lower earlier. Sleep arrives more naturally. This is why evening calm is not a one-time intervention. It is a habit. Over time, this habit becomes protective. Seniors who cultivate evening calm often report more stable blood pressure patterns, fewer nighttime awakenings, and more predictable mornings. These changes do not require medication adjustments. They come from supporting the body's natural rhythms. Evening calm also reduces fear around blood pressure. When the body feels less reactive, symptoms such as palpitations, restlessness, or tension decrease. This reduces anxiety, which further lowers nervous system activation. The cycle begins to reverse. It is important to approach evening calm without pressure. Trying too hard to relax can itself be stressful. Calm works best when it is gentle and unforced. Think of evening calm as an invitation rather than a requirement. You are inviting the body to rest. You are signaling that vigilance is no longer necessary. You are creating conditions where regulation can occur naturally. If you remember one thing from this part of the video, remember this: blood pressure does not lower at night because you demand it to. It lowers because the body feels safe enough to let go. In the next part of this video, we will explore how what you eat and drink in the evening influences blood pressure during the night, and how small changes in timing and choice can support overnight regulation without restriction or deprivation. For many people over the age of 60, evening eating habits are guided by comfort rather than intention. After a long day, food and drink become a way to relax, unwind, and feel satisfied before sleep. These habits are deeply personal, often shaped by decades of routine. But after 60, what you eat and drink at night quietly shapes how your blood pressure behaves while you sleep. The body's ability to regulate blood pressure depends heavily on digestion, hydration, and hormonal balance. In the evening, these systems are preparing to slow down. When food or drink creates extra work during this transition, blood pressure regulation becomes less efficient. This does not mean evening meals must be restrictive or joyless. It means timing, quantity, and type matter more than they once did. At night, the digestive system naturally slows. Blood flow is gradually redirected away from the gut toward processes involved in rest and repair. When heavy or stimulating foods are introduced late, the body must choose between digestion and recovery. Digestion requires blood flow, energy, and nervous system activation. When digestion remains active late into the night, blood pressure often remains elevated longer than it should. Many seniors notice that large evening meals leave them feeling heavy, restless, or uncomfortable in bed. This discomfort is not just digestive, it is cardiovascular. The heart must work harder to support digestion. Blood vessels respond to shifting demands. Blood pressure may remain higher throughout the night, even if you are asleep. Portion size matters more in the evening than at other times of day. A meal that feels reasonable at lunch may feel excessive at night. This is not about calories, it is about workload. Smaller, lighter evening meals allow the body to transition toward rest, without strain. Timing matters as well. Eating too close to bedtime leaves the body no opportunity to complete digestion before sleep. When digestion overlaps with sleep, both processes suffer. Blood pressure regulation becomes inconsistent. Many seniors benefit from allowing at least 2 to 3 hours between the final meal and bedtime. This window gives the body time to process food and begin shifting into a calmer state. Drinks also play a significant role. Caffeine is an obvious stimulant, but its effects are often underestimated in the evening. After 60, caffeine stays in the system longer. A cup of coffee or strong tea in the late afternoon or evening can stimulate the nervous system well into the night. This stimulation prevents blood pressure from fully settling. Even if sleep occurs, it is often lighter and more fragmented. Alcohol is more complicated. Many seniors believe a small amount of alcohol helps them relax or fall asleep. While alcohol may initially create a feeling of relaxation, it disrupts the later stages of sleep. It interferes with deep, restorative sleep and increases nighttime awakenings. Alcohol also affects blood vessels directly. It can cause blood pressure to fluctuate during the night, often leading to higher readings in the early morning. For blood pressure regulation after 60, alcohol in the evening is rarely helpful. Reducing or eliminating it often leads to more stable nighttime blood pressure and better sleep quality. Hydration at night requires balance. Dehydration can contribute to thicker blood and increased blood pressure. However, excessive fluid intake close to bedtime can disrupt sleep due to frequent urination, which interrupts nighttime blood pressure regulation. Sipping water earlier in the evening and reducing intake closer to bedtime often provides the best balance. The goal is hydration without disruption. Salt intake also deserves attention. Sodium influences fluid balance and blood pressure. In the evening, salty foods can increase thirst and fluid retention, leading to higher nighttime blood pressure. Highly processed snacks, soups, and packaged meals are common sources of excess sodium in the evening. These foods often feel convenient and comforting but create unnecessary cardiovascular work. This does not mean eliminating salt entirely. It means being aware of hidden sources and choosing simpler, less processed options at night. Sugar and refined carbohydrates can also influence nighttime blood pressure. Sugary foods cause rapid changes in blood sugar, which activates stress hormones. These hormones increase heart rate and blood pressure variability. In the evening, this activation interferes with the body's ability to settle. Many seniors experience restless sleep or early morning waking after consuming sweets late in the day. These patterns are often linked to blood sugar fluctuations rather than sleep disorders. Choosing foods that support steady blood sugar helps the nervous system remain calm and supports blood pressure regulation. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats are often better tolerated in the evening when consumed in moderate amounts. They digest more slowly and create fewer spikes in blood sugar. Warm, simple foods tend to be more calming than cold or highly stimulating foods. The body interprets warmth as comforting and safe, which supports nervous system relaxation. It is also important to consider emotional eating. Evening is when emotions often surface. Loneliness, boredom, or stress may drive eating habits that are less about hunger and more about comfort. While this is human, repeated emotional eating late at night can disrupt both sleep and blood pressure. Creating alternative calming rituals can reduce reliance on food for emotional regulation. These rituals do not need to be elaborate. A warm drink without caffeine, gentle stretching, or quiet reading can provide comfort without physiological strain. Many seniors are surprised to find that adjusting evening eating habits leads to noticeable changes in morning blood pressure. Readings become more consistent. Morning stiffness and heaviness decrease. Sleep feels deeper and more restorative. These changes do not require strict diets or deprivation. They come from alignment between what the body needs at night and what it receives. If there is one principle to take from this part of the video, it is this. Evening food and drink should support rest, not demand effort. The closer you move toward bedtime, the gentler your choices should become. In the next part of this video, we will explore how screens, light, and evening stimulation affect blood pressure at night, and why managing light exposure after 60 is one of the most overlooked tools for cardiovascular health. For many people over the age of 60, evenings are spent in front of screens. Television, tablets, phones, and computers have become companions at the end of the day. They provide information, entertainment, and connection. They help pass the time and create a sense of familiarity. What is rarely discussed is how strongly screens and light influence blood pressure at night. After 60, the body becomes far more sensitive to light and visual stimulation. This sensitivity does not always feel obvious. You may not feel alert or energized while watching television or scrolling on a phone. You may even feel sleepy. But inside the body, something very different is happening. Light is one of the strongest signals the nervous system receives. It tells the brain whether it is time to be alert or time to rest. Bright or stimulating light keeps the nervous system active, even when the body feels tired. When the nervous system remains active, blood pressure does not fully relax. This is why screens matter so much in the evening. Most screens emit blue light, which closely resembles daylight. After sunset, exposure to this type of light confuses the brain. It delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals the body to prepare for sleep. Melatonin does more than regulate sleep. It also influences blood pressure. When melatonin is delayed or suppressed, nighttime blood pressure often remains higher and more unstable. After 60, melatonin production naturally decreases. This makes the body even more dependent on environmental cues, such as darkness and dim light, to signal rest. Screens interfere with these cues. Many seniors assume that watching television is harmless because it feels passive. But television often combines bright light, rapid visual changes, sound, and emotional content. Together, these elements stimulate the nervous system. News programs are especially activating. Even when watched casually, they expose the brain to urgency, conflict, and concern. These signals increase stress hormones and keep blood vessels slightly constricted. After 60, this effect is stronger and lasts longer. Phones and tablets introduce a different kind of stimulation. Scrolling creates constant novelty. Each new image or message triggers a small alert response in the brain. This repeated activation prevents the nervous system from settling. Even when content feels neutral, the act of scrolling itself maintains alertness. Light intensity also plays a role beyond screens. Many homes remain brightly lit well into the evening. Overhead lights, white bulbs, and harsh lighting keep the environment feeling daytime-like. The nervous system responds accordingly. After 60, the body needs a clearer distinction between day and night. Without it, blood pressure regulation becomes less efficient. Dimmer, warmer lighting helps signal the transition toward rest. It allows melatonin to rise and supports nighttime blood pressure lowering. The timing of screen exposure matters as much as the amount. Using screens earlier in the evening has a different impact than using them close to bedtime. The closer screen exposure is to sleep, the more disruptive it becomes. Many seniors report that they fall asleep easily after watching television, but wake frequently during the night or wake too early in the morning. This pattern is often linked to disrupted melatonin rhythms caused by evening light exposure. Sleep may occur, but it is lighter and less restorative. Blood pressure does not receive the full benefit of nighttime rest. Another overlooked factor is posture during screen use. Watching television or using devices often involves slouching or reclining in positions that compress the chest and abdomen. This posture affects breathing. Breathing becomes shallow, which activates the sympathetic nervous system. Shallow breathing increases heart rate and blood pressure variability. Combined with stimulating light, this creates a subtle but persistent strain. Screens also encourage mental engagement. Thinking, reacting, processing information all keep the brain active. After 60, mental activation has a stronger effect on physiological systems than it once did. The body interprets mental activity as a reason to remain alert. Reducing screen exposure in the evening does not mean eliminating screens entirely. It means managing them intentionally. Many seniors find that setting a specific time to reduce or stop screen use helps the nervous system begin to settle. Even 30 to 60 minutes of reduced stimulation can make a noticeable difference. Replacing screens with lower stimulation activities allows the body to transition more smoothly. Reading printed material, listening to calm music, or engaging in quiet conversation are often easier on the nervous system. Light adjustments amplify these effects. Switching to warmer bulbs in the evening, dimming lights, and avoiding bright overhead lighting create an environment that supports rest. Lamps positioned lower in the room are less stimulating than ceiling lights. Darkness itself is not the goal. Gentle, low light is. Some seniors worry that reducing screens will lead to boredom or loneliness. This concern is understandable. Screens often provide connection and distraction. The goal is not to remove connection, but to shift the form of it. Phone calls earlier in the evening, in-person conversation, or listening to familiar voices can provide comfort without overstimulation. It is also important to acknowledge that habits around screens are deeply ingrained. Change does not happen overnight. Awareness comes first. Simply noticing how screen use affects sleep and morning blood pressure is a powerful step. Many seniors are surprised to discover that adjusting evening light and screen habits leads to lower morning blood pressure readings, improved sleep continuity, and reduced nighttime restlessness. These improvements often occur without any other changes. This is because light directly influences the nervous system, and the nervous system directly influences blood pressure. If there is one idea to take from this part of the video, it is this. Darkness and calm are signals of safety to the body. After 60, the body needs these signals more clearly than ever. Reducing bright light and screen stimulation in the evening allows the nervous system to shift toward rest. When the nervous system rests, blood pressure follows. In the next part of this video, we will explore breathing and relaxation practices that further support nighttime blood pressure regulation and how even a few minutes of intentional calm can make a meaningful difference while you sleep. After the age of 60, the nervous system becomes one of the most important influences on blood pressure, especially at night. While diet, movement, and medication matter, they all operate through the nervous system. If the nervous system remains alert, blood pressure remains reactive. If the nervous system feels safe, blood pressure naturally settles. Breathing is the fastest way to communicate with the nervous system. Most people breathe automatically without awareness. During the day, this usually works well enough. At night, however, breathing patterns often reflect accumulated stress. Breaths become shallow, irregular, or held without noticing. These patterns quietly signal the body to remain alert. After 60, the body responds more strongly to these signals. Shallow breathing activates the sympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for vigilance and stress responses. When this system is active, heart rate increases, blood vessels tighten, and blood pressure becomes more variable. Deep, steady breathing does the opposite. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which supports rest, repair, and regulation. This system slows the heart, relaxes blood vessels, and supports nighttime blood pressure lowering. The evening is the ideal time to shift from one system to the other. Many seniors believe that relaxation should happen automatically once they lie down. But relaxation is not passive. It is a physiological process that requires signals of safety. Breathing provides those signals. Slow breathing tells the brain that there is no immediate threat. It reduces stress hormones. It allows blood vessels to relax. This effect can begin within minutes. Importantly, breathing does not need to be forceful or complex to be effective. Gentle, slow breaths are often more beneficial than deep, exaggerated ones. One common mistake is trying to breathe deeply by pulling air forcefully into the chest. This can actually increase tension. Effective calming breathing allows the chest and abdomen to expand naturally, without strain. After 60, the body prefers smoothness over intensity. Breathing rhythm matters as much as depth. Slow, even breaths with slightly longer exhalations encourage the nervous system to settle. The exhale signals release. Many seniors unconsciously shorten their exhale, especially when stressed. This keeps the nervous system engaged. Lengthening the exhale, even gently, helps reverse this pattern. Relaxation practices work best when they are simple and repeatable. Complex routines can become another source of effort or performance pressure. The goal is not to do relaxation correctly. The goal is to reduce stimulation. Breathing can be paired with other calming cues. Gentle body awareness, comfortable posture, and quiet surroundings all reinforce the message of safety. Posture plays a subtle but important role. When sitting or lying down in a collapsed position, breathing becomes restricted. The chest cannot expand fully. The nervous system receives mixed signals. Supporting the body with pillows or sitting upright for a short period before lying down allows breathing to flow more easily. Many seniors benefit from taking a few minutes to breathe calmly while seated before transitioning to bed. This creates a smoother shift into rest. Relaxation is not limited to breathing alone. Mental relaxation is equally important. Thoughts that replay the day, worry about tomorrow, or focus on health concerns keep the nervous system alert. These thoughts are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that the nervous system has not yet disengaged. After 60, the mind and body are more closely linked. Mental activity has a stronger physiological effect. Gentle mental focus can help redirect attention away from stress. This does not mean forcing thoughts to stop. It means giving the mind something neutral and calming to rest on. Some people focus on the rhythm of breathing. Others focus on bodily sensations, such as the feeling of the bed or the warmth of a blanket. These simple anchors help reduce mental activation. Relaxation also includes emotional regulation. Evening is often when emotions surface. Loneliness, reflection, or unresolved stress may appear when distractions fade. Suppressing these emotions can increase tension. Allowing them to be present without reacting reduces their intensity. This emotional settling supports nervous system regulation and blood pressure stability. Many seniors are surprised to discover that just a few minutes of intentional relaxation can change how they sleep and how they feel the next morning. They wake with less tension. Morning blood pressure feels more predictable. The body feels more rested. These changes are not dramatic. They are subtle but consistent. Consistency is what matters. Practicing calm breathing and relaxation every evening trains the nervous system. Over time, the body begins to associate certain cues: dim light, comfortable posture, slow breathing with rest. This conditioning allows relaxation to happen more quickly and with less effort. It is important to approach relaxation without expectation. Trying to relax in order to achieve a result can create pressure. Pressure activates the nervous system. Relaxation works best when it is offered, not demanded. Think of breathing and relaxation as invitations rather than techniques. You are inviting the body to rest. If it takes time, that is acceptable. Another important aspect of relaxation is duration. Even short periods are beneficial. 5 minutes of calm breathing can begin to shift the nervous system. 10 to 15 minutes deepen the effect. Longer sessions are not necessary for most people. Quality matters more than length. Some seniors worry that relaxation practices will feel unnatural or uncomfortable. This often happens when practices are too structured. Keeping relaxation simple reduces resistance. Listening to the body's responses is more important than following rules. If breathing feels easier through the nose, use the nose. If gentle movement feels calming, allow it. The nervous system responds to comfort. Over time, breathing and relaxation become part of the evening rhythm. They mark the transition from activity to rest. They signal that the day is complete. This signal is powerful. When the nervous system receives it consistently, blood pressure regulation improves. Nighttime blood pressure lowers more reliably. Sleep becomes deeper. Morning stability increases. If there is one idea to take from this part of the video, it is this. Blood pressure follows the nervous system. When the nervous system feels safe, blood pressure settles. In the next part of this video, we will explore sleep timing and consistency, and why when you sleep matters as much as how long you sleep for supporting blood pressure after 60. After the age of 60, sleep is no longer just about how many hours you get. It is about when you sleep and how consistent that timing is from one night to the next. For blood pressure regulation, timing often matters more than duration. Many seniors focus on getting enough sleep, but they go to bed at different times each night. Some nights are early, some are late. Wake times shift, depending on how the night went. This variability feels harmless, but it sends mixed signals to the body. After 60, the body responds poorly to mixed signals. Blood pressure follows a daily rhythm controlled by the internal clock, also known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm influences hormone release, nervous system activity, heart rate, and blood vessel tone. When sleep timing is consistent, this rhythm remains stable. When sleep timing varies, regulation becomes less precise. This instability shows up most clearly in blood pressure. When bedtime and wake time shift frequently, the body does not know when to lower pressure fully or when to prepare to raise it. Blood pressure may remain higher at night or rise too early in the morning. Over time, this pattern increases strain on the cardiovascular system. Many seniors notice that on nights when they go to bed later than usual, sleep feels lighter. They may wake more often or feel unrested in the morning. Blood pressure readings the next day may feel unpredictable. This is not coincidence. The body thrives on predictability. After 60, the internal clock becomes more sensitive to disruption. Light, meals, activity, and sleep timing all interact. When sleep timing changes, these systems lose alignment. Consistency helps realign them. Going to bed at roughly the same time each night allows the nervous system to anticipate rest. Hormones that lower blood pressure begin to rise earlier. Heart rate slows more smoothly. Blood vessels relax more reliably. This process does not require an exact bedtime down to the minute. A consistent window is enough. 30 to 60 minutes of variation is generally well tolerated. Larger swings are more disruptive. Wake time consistency is equally important. Many seniors sleep in later after a poor night, hoping to catch up. While this may feel helpful in the short term, it often worsens the problem. Sleeping in shifts the internal clock, making it harder to fall asleep the following night. This creates a cycle of late nights and inconsistent sleep. For blood pressure regulation, waking at a consistent time helps stabilize morning transitions. The body learns when to raise pressure gradually rather than abruptly. This reduces morning spikes and discomfort. Napping also influences sleep timing. Short naps earlier in the day can be restorative. Long or late naps, however, reduce sleep drive at night. This delays bedtime and disrupts consistency. After 60, the body is less able to compensate for late naps. What once felt refreshing may now interfere with nighttime regulation. Limiting naps to earlier in the afternoon and keeping them brief often supports better nighttime sleep and more stable blood pressure. Another important factor is how bedtime routines align with sleep timing. A consistent routine before bed reinforces the signal that sleep is approaching. This routine does not need to be elaborate. It needs to be familiar. Repeating the same sequence of calming activities each evening helps the nervous system shift more easily into rest. Over time, the body associates these cues with sleep and blood pressure lowering. When bedtime routines vary widely, this association weakens. Many seniors report that they feel tired but not sleepy. This distinction matters. Tiredness reflects physical fatigue. Sleepiness reflects circadian readiness. Consistency builds sleepiness at the right time. It is also important to address the idea of catching up on sleep. After 60, the body does not easily recover from irregular sleep patterns by sleeping longer on certain nights. Instead, it benefits more from steady, moderate sleep on a consistent schedule. This does not mean that occasional poor nights are harmful. It means that the overall pattern matters more than individual nights. Stress around sleep timing can itself raise blood pressure. Some seniors become anxious about going to bed on time. They worry about the consequences of a late night. This anxiety activates the nervous system and makes sleep more difficult. Consistency should be approached gently. If bedtime shifts occasionally, it is not a failure. Returning to the usual schedule the next night is what matters. The goal is rhythm, not rigidity. Another overlooked aspect of sleep timing is the relationship between evening habits and bedtime. When stimulating activities extend too close to bedtime, even a consistent bedtime may not lead to restful sleep. The nervous system may still be active when you lie down. This is why sleep timing works best when paired with evening calm. Calm evenings prepare the body to rest at the intended time. Without calm, the clock says it is bedtime, but the nervous system disagrees. Over time, this mismatch weakens the association between bedtime and rest. Many seniors notice that when they respect sleep timing and consistency, mornings become easier. Blood pressure feels more predictable. The body wakes with less tension. These changes often appear gradually. The first week may feel subtle. Over several weeks, patterns become clearer. The body learns. It is also worth noting that sleep timing interacts with medication schedules. Some blood pressure medications are affected by circadian rhythms. Taking them at times that align with sleep and wake patterns can improve their effectiveness and reduce side effects. This is something to discuss with a healthcare provider, especially if nighttime blood pressure patterns are a concern. Ultimately, sleep timing and consistency support blood pressure by supporting the body's natural rhythm. After 60, the body no longer tolerates irregularity as well as it once did. What feels flexible to the mind may feel confusing to the physiology. Providing the body with clear, repeated signals allows regulation to occur with less effort. If there is one principle to take from this part of the video, it is this. Blood pressure responds best to predictability. When sleep comes at a familiar time, the body knows how to prepare. When wake time is consistent, the body knows how to rise gently. This predictability reduces strain and supports long-term cardiovascular health. In the final section of this video, we will bring all of these night habits together and explain how they work as a system to lower blood pressure quietly while you sleep and why this approach is especially powerful after 60. After the age of 60, lowering blood pressure is no longer only about what you do while awake. It is also about what the body is allowed to do while you sleep. Nighttime is when the cardiovascular system has its best opportunity to recover, repair, and reset if the conditions are right. This is why night habits matter so deeply. While you sleep, the body is not inactive. Blood vessels respond to hormonal signals. The nervous system recalibrates its sensitivity. The heart adjusts its rhythm. Blood pressure, ideally, lowers and remains steady for hours. This quiet lowering is not dramatic, but it is essential. It gives blood vessels relief from daily pressure. It reduces strain on the heart. It supports long-term cardiovascular health in ways that daytime habits alone cannot achieve. When night habits support this process, blood pressure lowers naturally while you sleep. When they do not, the body remains in a state of partial alertness, even in bed. Many seniors assume that once they fall asleep, the work is done. But sleep quality, depth, and continuity all depend on what happened in the hours before. The body carries the signals it received during the evening into the night. If the evening was rushed, stimulating, or unpredictable, the nervous system remains cautious. Blood pressure does not fully release. Sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. If the evening was calm, consistent, and supportive, the nervous system relaxes. Blood vessels soften. Blood pressure lowers without effort. Lowering blood pressure while you sleep is not about forcing the body into submission. It is about creating safety. The cardiovascular system lowers pressure when it feels safe enough to do so. Safety comes from predictable routines. Safety comes from low stimulation. Safety comes from gentle transitions. These signals tell the nervous system that vigilance is no longer required. Throughout this video, we have explored how evening calm, food and drink choices, light exposure, breathing, relaxation, and sleep timing work together. These habits are not isolated. They form a system. Each habit reinforces the others. Evening calm prepares the nervous system to disengage. Supportive food and drink reduce internal workload. Reduced light allows hormones to shift naturally. Breathing and relaxation deepen the sense of safety. Consistent sleep timing strengthens the body's rhythm. Together, these habits create an environment where blood pressure can lower quietly and reliably during sleep. This approach is especially powerful after 60 because the body becomes more sensitive to both stress and support. Small stressors have larger effects, but small supportive actions also have larger benefits. Many seniors are surprised to discover that improving night habits leads to better morning blood pressure than changing morning routines alone. This is because nighttime is when the body sets the baseline for the next day. When blood pressure lowers properly at night, the morning rise is gentler. The cardiovascular system starts the day from a calmer place. Medications feel easier to tolerate. Energy feels steadier. This does not mean that mornings are unimportant. It means that mornings are shaped by nights. One of the most valuable outcomes of supportive night habits is confidence. When blood pressure feels unpredictable, fear often follows. Seniors may worry about numbers, symptoms, or medication. This worry activates the nervous system, which raises blood pressure further. A cycle develops. Calm nights help break this cycle. When sleep feels restorative and mornings feel steadier, fear decreases. Reduced fear lowers nervous system activation. Lower activation supports more stable blood pressure. The cycle begins to reverse. It is important to approach night habits with patience. The body does not change overnight. Blood pressure patterns may take days or weeks to adjust. This is normal. Consistency matters more than speed. Trying to change everything at once often creates pressure, which undermines the goal. Choosing one or two habits and allowing them to become familiar is more effective. Night habits should feel supportive, not restrictive. This is not about eliminating all enjoyment or comfort in the evening. It is about aligning comfort with the body's needs. True comfort leaves the body feeling settled, not stimulated. After 60, the body gives clear feedback. When night habits are supportive, sleep deepens. Tension decreases. Mornings feel less abrupt. Blood pressure behaves more predictably. Listening to these signals builds trust in your own experience. It is also important to continue working with healthcare providers. Night habits do not replace medical care. They complement it. When the body is better regulated at night, treatments often work more smoothly. Many doctors recognize the importance of nighttime blood pressure patterns. Sharing your experiences with sleep, evening routines, and morning stability can help guide care decisions. Ultimately, lowering blood pressure while you sleep is not about control. It is about cooperation. You are cooperating with the body's natural rhythms rather than fighting them. You are allowing recovery to occur instead of pushing through fatigue. You are creating space for regulation rather than demanding results. This cooperation becomes more valuable with age. After 60, the body still has remarkable capacity for balance and healing. It simply requires the right conditions. Night habits provide those conditions. If you take one idea from this video, let it be this. The safest way to lower blood pressure after 60 is to allow the body to rest deeply and consistently. Rest is not passive, it is powerful. As you move forward, consider your evenings not as leftover time, but as preparation. Preparation for sleep, preparation for recovery, preparation for the next day. Small choices made quietly at night shape blood pressure more than most people realize. If this video helped you understand your body more clearly, consider subscribing to this channel. We focus on calm, clear guidance for seniors' health, blood pressure, and safe daily routines after 60, without fear and without extremes. Thank you for taking the time to care for your health. The way you spend your nights shapes the health of your days far more than you may think.